And there we are. Hi everyone. Good evening.
Hi everyone.
There are we again. I think it was 4 weeks ago we met last time, or something like that.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yes.
Been a good run of bad luck for everyone the last few weeks.
Yes. Yeah, I think we all aren't really healthy last few weeks.
Yeah, but this is what life is like, isn't it?
Yes, we all have to do what we have to do. Have to go through that.
Oh.
Funnily enough, that comment that you made in Twitter earlier, the one that I translated, I'm coming.
Yeah, a friend asked if, or my neighbors asked if I wanted to come down. So, and that's basically I was saying I'm coming downstairs to them. So, it's a really weird translation. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, if you translate it one-on-one, it's not really, suitable.
It reminded me of something years ago. My ex-wife, she wanted to spice up sex life a bit. So when I climaxed, I'd be like, "I'm coming."
It's only 9 in the evening here, so is it early enough for that?
I mean, well,
Are we starting like this right now?
That was a food joke. Come on.
It reminds me of. I'm sorry for that. Right from the beginning, but I have to tell you now. It reminds me of something my husband sent me as a little picture, and it was, what are English guys like during sex? Oh, splendid! Honey, I'm arriving. That's so hard.
I'm arriving.
I've heard a slight variation on that, like something about like posh English girls or something. They don't come, they arrive. That's classic.
there is even a setting in YouTube for age restriction. Not sure we should enable it now.
Only jokes. Stand-up comedians get away with a hell of a lot more than that.
Yeah, sometimes you can, but I also have the idea YouTube is sometimes just crazy with stuff, and they just block you for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that live stream where we said all those inappropriate things? They didn't block anything.
Yeah, I
because
think
it wasn't in the beginning. They didn't watch all the time through.
Yeah.
Was that the one where Pokon had his?
Yes.
Yes.
Male body parts.
I wasn't actually on that stream. I watched it back later.
We were laughing so hard.
Yeah, that was the most hilarious stream I ever attended.
But sometimes it just needs to be like that.
Yeah.
Well, you need to be able to make a joke about things and about everything, and if you can't, then it's not good.
Life is sad enough as it is, so we have to grab everything that can be fun.
At one point, I might have to jump away because the cats are coming and they want some food, maybe. At the moment, one of them is eating the rest, but I think he will want to have more later. So all the cat lovers, they know what I mean.
Pretty much every morning, we don't need an alarm clock. We have 2 cats.
Yeah, mine used to come and headbutt me.
Yeah, I am allergic for cats, so I
Oh
don't have any.
dear.
Oh,
But I'm basically allergic for like everything. That's crazy.
I was going to say, it sounds like you got a few allergies. That's
Yeah, I have
super suck.
I have really bad hay fever, and that also comes together with the cats and dogs. And that's not great, especially in summer and spring. Then the hay fever is crazy. So
I can feel with you with that. I have especially the issue with raps. What is it called in English?
Dix will help me. Moment.
Sorry, I'm
Dix
missing
is
the
good for
word.
everything. Raps. I will take a look for it. Raps. Raps.
Raps? Well, they
Right.
make
Raps.
oil from the seeds. So it's but the flowers when they're in full bloom, it's like crazy. My eyes are swollen.
yes, I have
and-
the same
oh.
swollen eyes. And
Oh,
yeah,
nasty.
and also when they are mowing the grass, that's crazy as well. Lot of people say it smells really nice. Yeah, it
Oh, it
does.
smells
It
beautiful.
also makes me really cry.
Really? Oh God.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I have this every time at work where we have these huge fill your own bag stuff for the pets. So there's one with hay, mixed hay, and every time I walk through there, I'm sneezing all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
So you also have hay
yeah,
fever.
I try to use all kind of medicines and it just doesn't help. And there's one that helps a bit, but not that much. But I just tried it when it's really bad, so I don't get it's called
Yeah, you get used to it.
yeah.
I think
I
they
know
make you
that.
very sleepy, huh?
Some does, but not all of them.
Most issue is that you can get used to the medication and it does nothing, even if you take more and more. I had to stop taking mine because of this, and so it's pretty bad with every little thing. So I still have to wait until I can take another one. So yeah.
I have to say, I think there are 2 or 3 that are that I can choose, and I am used to living with it, and not much I can do about it.
So I must knock on wood. I had it like 30 years ago. I had it in 1 year, very, very bad. But since then, never again. It was so bad that the the skin, the top skin of the eye, it got wrinkled and everything the yellow. That was, and I looked like a freak.
Must have burned like hell.
Yeah, it's so long ago, I don't remember. So, but I'm really happy that I never had it. And I don't know what caused it that year. It must have been something very crazy.
Who knows? Maybe some pesticides or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I'm only allergic to one thing that I know of.
Yeah, you have all
gas.
kinds of other health issues, so you are not that lucky.
I'm glad I'm not allergic to anything. No, like my sister, she's allergic to citrus. She gets massive migraines whenever she eats
Dear.
lemons. So, yeah.
Okay.
Luckily for me, no food allergies, no hay fever or anything like that. Anything I'm allergic to, they don't use in medical world anymore.
So anything really happened actually in the 3D printing world last week? Because I haven't been able to do a lot of printing.
Me neither. I haven't done much. I'm sorry. I had the flu pretty bad for 2 weeks
yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk. It was at work they were all smiling and laughing because I sounded so crazy. If something came out of my mouth. So yeah. Guess I'm better now. I had this last week without lots of shoes, just a bit the nose still running, but I was super tired. I don't know why, so exhausted from this cold. Hadn't done it before.
I was tired
Just
too without
couldn't
having
assume.
any flu. So I think the thing with being tired is a phenomenon that I have at the moment every day.
Let's say it's the weather.
Yeah, I guess it's the weather. Yeah.
So. I think I was at my parents' house last week, and the maintenance on the train, so that's why I missed everything.
Okay. Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah, we were like 3.5 hours late or something.
Yeah, it was like 3.5 hours trip instead of basically 1 hour or something. Yeah, it's around 1 hour normally, so it was crazy.
Okay.
And
so I gave courses to at work, and then I was very active here.
Oh, it's so awesome. I love it so much.
Wow.
Should I send it to you, Mia? Because I can chop it up in these little sections, as you have seen, and
I see the video.
And I put it on the scale. It weighs exactly 600 grams. So if I send it from Germany,
is that all 3D printed?
Yes, all these pixels are all 3D printed.
Really nice.
It's so beautiful.
You cannot. Now you can see it. It's not.
Did you put a video up of that already?
Yes. Yeah. It's on my channel. It was quite complicated because I already knew that that would be like a torture test, but I didn't know that it would be that much of a torture test. I already exchanged myself with Mia, and because the elephant foot was my biggest enemy.
I can see.
These pegs, they have to be absolutely straight. There is a little bit of a gap in between there. But if you don't have a bed leveling system, or if you don't take care, even on the cruiser.
Yeah, but even with bed leveling, it's really hard, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, you can use the deburn to remove the elephant feet. That might work.
Do that on
not with that small parts.
It's small.
Do that on over 1,000 pegs.
Yeah.
So I'm not good at calculating. I have 9 panels. Every panel has 16 by 16 pegs.
So it's 16
by 16, and then by 9.
No, 16 by, wait a second.
2,304.
16 by 16. Yes. Yeah, okay, so please then do the deburring on all these pegs. Yeah. Then you're going to go nuts.
You can also print them upside down with a bit of soluble support.
With a multi-material device, this would be totally possible.
It only, it doesn't have much of of PVA, so that might actually work.
I didn't get that. What was it?
If you print it upside down, so instead you can use some PVA, so soluble support, to print it instead of having the top space, and then you don't have the elephant foot.
Yeah, but do that onto these 2,560 pegs.
But you just have to throw it into the water.
You just put them in water and leave them there for a few hours. And
yes, okay. If it works, okay.
It works perfectly.
Have you tried?
Not yet. I have soluble material, but I could try it for those pegs, of course, because I wanted to try it with PETG, because I think with PETG it will have a little bit more grip if you put them in the holes. Because PLA is very, very slippery. And when I made all the tests with the little Lego parts, PETG works much better for click in and release. It's similar to ABS, but much better to print, of course. So I think for the mosaic, the PETG would be the better material.
Okay.
Yeah, that might work better. Yeah.
I just wanted to test because I had so many samples, and it's incredible. Those 50 grams samples. You can only small little things with it, But if you print out the pegs, I had 256 pegs, and the 50 gram wasn't even used up. So
that's a lot.
The idea was that this is a nice thing to use up all those dumb samples that you have lying around, which you never use.
I have a lot of them.
And if you spread them out, and put them in the board, you get a big surface, much bigger than if you would print out. That's the amount of space.
Yeah, the color difference isn't that much of a problem, I guess, as well. If you spread them out a bit more.
And you can see the colors of the filament beautifully.
Yeah.
If those are samples. Next one I will try in grays and whites and blacks, because I have so many of those variations. And I will turn a picture in a black and white picture, and then give it a try.
Awesome! Oh, I would love to see that.
Have you tried the Pick-to-Brick software? Because it was initially made for Lego, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that, but I haven't downloaded it yet or done anything. I was so lazy this last week. I just have been on the couch and I wasn't really able to do anything. And so I thought, no, just stay here. Even watching TV or something like that for too long just gave me a huge headache because of the flickering and
I can imagine.
So I have a day off tomorrow, and I made myself a huge schedule. So let's see how much of that I would really be able to accomplish. But I have to get back doing something. It's okay to sit down, do nothing for a while, but my fingers are itching.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I always get a bit like that after finishing off a project. I'll just like play games or watch TV, veg, and then usually within a week or something, I'm like, got to do something.
Yeah. I hated doing nothing. I really don't think in general.
So I have just shared the website Pick-to-Brick on the chat over on YouTube. If you want to grab it, if you want to open it up to say it for yourself.
Does Lego allow that?
Yeah, because they make official projects with Lego. They make mosaics out of Lego. They make mosaics out of mini-Steck, and then let you use it wherever you want. It's open source.
So basically, you can use it for Lego, but you don't have to. They just invented it for Lego.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Oh, speaking about Lego, I don't know if you've seen it, but they are now selling huge minifigures.
I have seen it.
For 120 euros. That's insane. So I'm now pretty much have a good idea why they rated all the Lego things, especially the ones with the minifigures. I was laughing so hard when I saw it in the newsletter.
Is it that wooden thing there?
That wooden thing, yes. It's basically, I think, 5 times or 6 times the Lego brick or something like that. Just, wait a second. I have it here.
You lost your video, Katja.
Yeah, because the dumb Logitech wants me to install a software.
Okay.
So just give me a moment.
That thing doesn't open up. So here it is. I'm not sure if you can see it on my phone. That's it, and it's holding. Damn it.
Is it just on the Lego?
I tried to find the link and I posted it in the chat.
Yeah, it's on the homepage of the Lego site. I already see it.
It's already there.
Yes.
If you have it open, can you post the link in the?
Yes, I just
chat?
posted
Perfect.
in the chat.
Thank you.
It's 130 euros. It's
my
available
God.
from today.
120. I had it in the mail. But it might have gone up till then.
Yeah, and sometimes here in the Netherlands, Lego is a bit more expensive as in Germany.
No, that's
really?
true.
Yeah.
Why that?
I have no idea. But...
Okay.
It's I don't really like it actually. It's a bit weird thing.
It is. Well, I like the headline. Oh, is there an artist inside of you? Come and be creative with that thing. And on the other hand, they are shutting down all the creative people which are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So
that's
ironic.
sick. Oh, that's really sick.
It's also not really Lego. It's normally you have something that you can put together, and that's not at all.
Yeah, that's just something they wanted to make back to the roots because they started with wooden toys.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, that's that. But, well, I don't think that I want to spend 120 or 130 euros for a piece of wood.
Not for one minifig. I actually am looking here at my Lego collection, and there is a lot of money in there.
In mine as well. I have a lot of stuff.
I bought, I think last year I bought 2 more Lego Technic sets.
Awesome. Which ones?
Yeah, the cranes. I love the Lego Technic. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
Fun.
I think Katja is gone.
Yes, she's gone again.
Yeah, probably like my update.
Yeah, that one I bought last year. Apparently it was 250 euros.
Now I'm back again, excuse me. It's the first time I'm using the laptop here and the Logitech webcam on it, and it just wanted me to install the dumb software.
Yeah.
Oh, Garth.
You can't sit in the same position all day, which is unfortunate because every time I move it hurts.
Dear.
I'll get settled again.
Poor guy.
At least I got to go out and have some fun last week before I did this, which is nice. I got to attend my first 3D printing meetup kind of thing.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. I got to meet Billy Rubin.
Oh, nice.
Ah, that's cool. She's so nice.
Yeah. And saw Kathy as well. I've met her before. And the people who make my printer.
Okay. That's cool.
Michelle runs that group. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And yeah, Kathy was kind enough to bring along the stuff that JT was supposed to send me, I don't don't know how many months ago.
Oh, did you finally get your Ivan Miranda art?
I got it, and then I was chatting with Cobus as I left the building, and I left it on the table.
Oh no!
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, I had
dear.
it for like an hour or so. But
That's
yeah,
just like it does not supposed to be.
yeah, but no, it was held at like a business of a company that makes like VR video game, and that they were looking for some people to do work, and I asked like for some details about it, and she gave me a business card, which was really great because yeah, when I was like 3/4 of the way home, and I got off the freeway, and I was like, "Oh, you dumbass!" And I was like, "Well, doesn't matter. I've got a business card. I can just call her up." So yeah, I'm going to go in. Well, maybe tomorrow if I'm in
If you're able to
workable
walk.
condition. But yeah, I'll finally get my Ivan Miranda robot pen pick.
It's about time.
Yeah. I don't even know how long he's had that down there, but that wasn't the only thing that was in there either. He's had like a couple of other things since then that he was going to send me as well, and just never got around to it. So yeah, I was very grateful when I heard Kathy was going to Melbourne, even though it was like 3 days or something after she'd gone there. That was when I realised, hang on, she could grab it for me and bring it back. And I thought, I guarantee I'll ask JT and he'll be like, oh no, she's already been. I'm like, but no, yeah, we're meeting up like the next day. I was like, yes. So yay. Thank you, JT, eventually.
So have you ever met JT in person?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I certainly would like to, but yeah, he's like, yeah, probably 1,600 kilometers away or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a bit.
It's a fair drive.
Yeah.
Did you see the new printer from Ivan Miranda?
Yes, I saw that.
The huge one.
Yeah, the huge one.
Yes,
That thing is crazy.
Yes.
I saw him building the frame, but is he further now?
It was the video from, I think, last Friday.
Oh, so I haven't watched that latest one then.
Yeah.
He is such a cool guy. I would love to meet him in person. I always have to laugh so much, and I know. And at first, I didn't get it. When we met at the meet, at our little meetup, I didn't get this point of the spacers. I wasn't, part of the gang yet. Let's say.
Now you know the spacers.
And now because I watched the assembly of the tank, and now I know what this thing about the spacers is. It's so
the
cool.
fuck here.
God.
Yeah, I just love it. And also, yeah, it looks really simple how he makes that things, and it just works, and I love that.
He must be such a genius of an engineer,
Yeah.
Well, it started with things that just didn't work.
Yeah. But
he really worked up for it until it worked like that.
Which is understandable. You can't make something like this just at once without having something that isn't working.
Yeah.
I used to love watching all these failures though. Like that was one thing I really loved, like the weekly videos where he'd go through all the different iterations and stuff, and in what way I miss. I really miss it because I don't get to do my Ivan poems anymore.
But I can see
you're out of songs anyway, or weren't you?
I can see how much time it takes to make those videos as well, besides making the failures. That's
it definitely would be tiresome because it's not so much like the rendering or anything; it's the actual editing.
Yeah,
editing is so time consuming.
It's the reason why I didn't make any videos for the last months, because I don't really have the time for editing at all.
Me neither.
Yeah, it does take so much time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I still want to make a video about the solar station. But
is it still running?
It's still running. It's actually nearly empty.
Okay. I still need to print mine, but I have to hook up the palette first. Scary about it. Tomorrow they're gonna announce something tomorrow, so I don't know what it is. What? What are you laughing?
I still have to open the box.
That is so bad, Mia.
No.
Oh, you too, Mia? You didn't open up the box either?
4 boxes unopened.
We are 3 boxes later now.
4 boxes in delay.
So Mia, let us make a time, and we will crack the boxes open together and a live stream. Will we? Will we be brave girls?
Do that,
yes.
Do
that. You see,
when are you? I wanted to make an unboxing for every single box, and now I'm 4 boxes in delay.
And that's the thing I loved, or I like doing it just doing the live stream. Then it's not any editing required.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do more live streaming just about all kind of things. It doesn't require any editing, and just less time. And I think I'm just
lucky Paul, because you have such a good streaming quality, and mine is so shitty. So I have to record it.
Yeah.
So Mia, do you have time next Friday?
I have to look. Wait a second. Where's my schedule?
8th of November.
I have to work at 8 a.m. on Friday till 12, and on Saturday as well in the morning. So
afternoon?
Afternoon is okay. We can do that.
That's a word.
When you have a time and date settled,
let's do it.
Then if you have to, you can't procrastinate.
So I will write now here, Friday the 8th November at 2 p.m.
Okay, I will put it in my schedule. Because if my phone doesn't remember me, I probably won't remember.
We can help you with that as well.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's do that.
So
there we go.
Live stream with Katja.
Cool. And everybody that wants to join, maybe you also have to crack open some boxes, guys. Then you might join in. We're gonna let you.
I do have a broken box here. I have from this month. My box came a bit broken.
Oh dear! Is everything inside okay, or haven't you opened it?
I have no idea because I don't know.
Well, I know what's supposed to be in there, but I haven't opened it.
So Garth, we should arrange a box for you so you also have something to unbox.
Oh, you have something from JT left still in the box.
Well, yeah. If I can get in there to pick up my stuff, I could always save my Ivan tube to unbox. And I know there's something else that he included in there that should be in a box.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the big if I can get it.
I might be able to join as well because I think I work from home at Friday, so I just need to reschedule some stuff and then.
That would be great.
I wonder what time 2 o'clock would be for me.
Wait a second.
9 o'clock for 6 in the morning.
I actually found the broken box.
Oops.
So it's like it was completely damaged here at the sides.
Right.
And stuff was falling out. So, at least I know the filaments are in there because.
First delivery.
If the filament's not broken, everything is fine.
Yeah. I have more filaments laying around here. I didn't open any of the filaments from all the boxes I got.
I opened some, but not all. I still have so many samples. I'm kind of collecting those. I have one of those, from IKEA, the Kallax Expedit. You have those square boxes with 33 by 33 centimeters, I think.
Yeah.
And one of those boxes full to the top.
Oh God.
I still have samples left over from last year. So not this year, from last year in Sweden. So
print some pixels.
The candy is still in there.
For sure. There are lots of nice PETGs I haven't tried before. So this is what I would do.
I already made the pixel with a 4.9, which is called Elephant Safe Pixel.
Yes, I think that's much better because with the Lego bricks, it's exactly what they do. They have about 16 by 16 millimeters for the square blocks 2 by 2, and they do 15.8. So you have 0.2 millimeters, a little bit of space to make sure everything fits, even without an elephant foot or something like that. So I think the 4.9 should be perfect.
Great. So Garth, when you do you also have Amazon Australia?
Sorry, a what?
Do you also have Amazon? Do you have that?
Amazon. We do have Amazon here, but it's an absolute rot. Like they basically blocked our access to the American site.
It's the same.
It's
the same.
Ways you can get around it, but yeah, basically they like if you try to go there, you get redirected to the Australian site, and everything costs like 10 times as much.
Well, we can here order some parts from the US site, but in general, I order from the German site. There's no Dutch version yet. It's supposed to come next year, I think.
Yeah, they reckon they're going to bring the prices down eventually, but like probably be years and years off before it gets there. So I think they just love ripping us off like everybody else does for everything else.
So we have Michael Molinari who's watching us. And he just subscribed to my channel, and I want to say thank you, Michael.
Awesome.
That's really awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, we pretty much get the short end of the stick for everything here, except for purchases from China.
You have China pretty close by.
We can get insanely cheap stuff from China,
and I guess probably pretty fast.
It depends on the shipping method. Like I can buy stuff from AliExpress and choose like the free shipping option, and it can take 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, so that's the
It's
same
the
as here.
same. Yeah.
But they have now their more premium option, and I think it's between 7 and 10 days in some cases. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can pay like 12 or $15 or something.
Here
get, like,
1 or 2
express.
euros or something like that, and then it's within 7 days.
Jesus, it's like 12 or $15 to get it that quick for us here. But surprisingly, like I was asking.
I'm actually looking here at Banggood, so not AliExpress, and the priority direct mail there is €2.18, and it's 6 to 14 business days. So basically 2 weeks. That's
okay.
Pretty quick.
Yes, and the free shipping is 7 to 20 business days without tracking code. So if you want it tracked, you pay it's €1. But it depends on the product as well.
Yes.
So I'm on Amazon Australia now, and I'm just looking for the 3D printers, of course, and the prices are extremely high, 50% more than where we live. That is crazy.
Yep.
I have the feeling, yeah.
Like JT said it's actually cheaper, like if he sort of VPNs into the US site, pays for the printers in US dollars.
Yeah.
Even with the conversion and the shipping, it still works out cheaper to buy it from there.
Oh my God.
But I have sometimes the same. If I'm just ordering something in the United States and just send it over to here, then it's just in some cases way cheaper as ordering it directly here in Europe. That's
crazy. It's really crazy.
Like I was not long after I got my printer, I was looking into buying kind of bulk resin, and I contacted a company in China about getting like a 55-gallon drum, and it was about $8,000 for a 55-gallon drum, which worked out pretty good. I think it was like $23 or $24 a liter or something. But the shipping for that 55-gallon drum was like $100.
That's crazy. No, I think Amazon Germany is pretty okay with shipping in general.
Yes.
But
you can't get everything.
And even here to the Netherlands, it's okay. It's not the most cheap, but it's not that bad at all. And compared to other web shops, it's in general cheaper to just buy it in Germany as ordering it here in the Netherlands, especially 3D printing related.
So I don't know what it was that JT went to buy a roll of filament like a month ago or something, but one roll of filament, and they were going to charge him $125 for the shipping.
That's crazy.
That's insane. 120 just for shipping.
Yeah.
I had like 50s for shipping from China. That was extreme for me already.
To think that I can get a 55-gallon drum shipped here from China for $100, and like he wants a roll of filament and they want 120. That's just stupid.
Oh, that's really stupid. So Michael Molinari would like to know the links of you other guys. If you go over to the YouTube stream and write something in the chat so we can see your handle.
I will add it to the description actually of the video.
Oh, that's perfect.
You added? Oh, that is cool. Okay, Michael, did you hear that? Just go there later and then just grab all the connections.
Give me a minute.
So, Michael, are you also into 3D printing, or what are you doing? Are you also on Twitter? Do you have a YouTube channel? So there's lots of stuff that we would like to know about you.
Why is the YouTube interface so stupid?
Let's see if he has a YouTube channel. Close to China. I think I have lots of lag here, huh?
Yeah, around 15 to 30 seconds, yeah. Not something I can do, unfortunately.
He has a channel.
I think
That's cool.
That should find me. Oh,
he has 354 people following him.
Nice.
More
There
than
will
me.
be at least 4 more.
So yeah, I've just started
post your
following
link
him.
so we can follow you as well.
Yeah. So, and if you ever would like to join our stream, you just tell us, and then
Pardon me.
you can join in if you like. Great. I hope I'm not getting sick. My nose is already running all the time.
Oh dear. Let's just hope it goes away quickly.
Yeah, because I need to be at work this coming week. I have to give a lecture.
Oh dear.
Don't you also have that event from your husband coming up?
The what?
That event from your husband, the conference this week, where you bought the push-up for.
You know what? They let me down. It was last weekend, not this weekend, the weekend before. They let me down.
Oh.
I was so pissed.
Yes.
I was so angry.
This is something that's an absolute no-go. You can't just invite somebody and then say, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry."
I was extremely angry. Yeah, it's not. And my husband, he felt so sorry because he's in touch with this with this organization, and so it was a combination of this organization failing and then also the group, because they rented the tables as a group.
Yeah.
And then this whole the AGD, which I wanted to connect with there. They only had one table. They only had one table, and then not space enough. And I asked myself why they didn't know it before, and so they said no, because I had no place for the printer, and then it doesn't make any sense. And that I was so angry afterwards, because I should have not called them. I should have just went there, and then, you know what I mean, and then enjoy the whole show. But as I'm typical German, I called them and what's the latest news about the tables? Do you have 2 tables now? Did you manage to get a second one for my printer? I should have just let it run. It was my fault, They had that the hotel would have been very nice that they booked, and I could have enjoyed myself, but I was too dumb. Yeah.
It's not your fault, it's theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, Mia, did Pokemon get in contact with you about the cuckoo clock?
No, not recently.
Okay. He was, yeah.
Did something not work, or?
Oh, no. Remember, I told you about my mini factory thing in Germany?
That he was sending it there.
Yeah. Apparently, they sent it back to him.
Okay.
Not my mini factory, but like the postal service never delivered it, and it got sent back to him.
Okay.
So he was gonna.
Did he leave the battery in it so it did tick, and they maybe thought it was a problem there?
I don't know. Yeah, he said he's going to ask you whether you wanted it or something. I don't know.
That's...
That's
he's gonna sell it in an auction, or what was the plan?
No, my mini factory is on the Spielemesse in Germany, and they wanted some nice projects to show off. And so Pokon wanted to send the cuckoo clock to them in Germany so they could show it off. But it never arrived there because the post service sent it back. So
he could have sent Ultra Benchy. Then they could have put it together there.
Well, if you have 10 to 12 hours,
Oh, I'm sure they have some time over there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment.
It's such a shame that it never arrived there. It would have been so great. Every hour, the little tank comes out and screams, "Space!"
Yeah, it arrived back at his place like the day that the show started or something. So I was like, oh, that's not going to happen.
That's a
right.
shame. Oh, well.
Back in a moment.
So Michael wants to know what kind of 3D printing technology we are all using. So for me, it's the Prusa, so FTM, and I also have the Anycubic Photon with for resin printing. Yeah, that's my tool. I also have an ANET A8 or AM8 now, but I haven't used it in a while because the Prusa just... Yes, exactly that, and the Prusa doesn't work.
Yeah, so I am a crazy girl. I have a Delta printer that I have assembled by myself. I have a almost finished Delta printer that where I smoked the power brick, but I never went back to it, which I should pick up again. I have a Craftbot 3. I have a Prusa. I have a Chinese printer but I want to upgrade to wet Wi-Fi. And I have 2 resin printers, one for jewelry with a very small build platform, and a DAS 3D, which the company sent to me because I made a review for them, and I'm helping also in the community to troubleshoot on Facebook. And I have a Tivo Tarantula from Stefan Hermann, which prints dual color, which is really tricky to use, but I managed. Nice. I'm very happy. It doesn't have a touch probe, but it's
yeah. Is that one of the ones where the heads like lift up when they're not printing and?
No way. No, it's such a cheap printer. It's just a heat sink and then with 2 nozzles,
Oh, okay.
And
so not like the Creality one with 1 nozzle and 2.
No.
It's really 2 nozzles.
No. It has 2 TFT.
2 nozzles.
Yeah, it has 2.
But 2 nozzles and 1 print head.
No, it has everything separated.
Okay. So it's an IDEX. So it's an IDEX system.
No, it's together. It's on one block. It doesn't move separately. Okay. So it's one block. Yeah. PTFT to number 1, PTFT to number 2 underneath, 2 nozzles. And this is where it makes it so tricky because if you have something that is warped or something then it will rip off the entire thing because everything is at one height. And getting
even calibration is really hard because they never will be the same height, the nozzles. So it's basically impossible to calibrate.
This is why I said like this, you know, because I managed to print 3 things dual color that look really amazing.
Oh, do you have them around to show?
I would have to jump upstairs. If you want me to, I will.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them too. You can imagine that'd be really tricky, like even one layer's worth of difference. Like if you,
it's basically impossible to calibrate. I already have it with the I have the Ultimaker 3, and that has one head that is at one side, and the other is moving up and down. So you can do a bit of size calibration, but it's still really hard for that thing to do dual colors.
Especially if the filaments are a little bit different from temperature, you could have such issues.
Yes, because you have 2 separate nozzles, the temperature problems are not that much as a problem as, for example, with multi-material, with the MMU or the pellet, because you can change there for temperatures. With 2 separate nozzles, you can a bit more. Then you can set for those 2 temperatures.
A lizard!
So, may I present the lizard? Moment, I have to, I don't know where I can. Yeah, is it sharp? Can you see it? So and even the downs, you know, the bed adhesion was really good.
I think if you put it in front of your black, yes, that's much better to see, because otherwise it will blur it out. Yes, nice.
I wanted to deactivate this blurry thing, but I don't know where to do it here now. And the other thing,
it's a Skype thing, I think.
It's this dual color cat.
2 colors are hard to see on that one.
Yeah.
Oh yes, nice.
That's really crazy. It's from nervous on the internet. And awesome. That was the first one. You know, I was really astonished. You know, the leveling the bed and getting the nozzles to be in the same height is really extremely complicated. And it doesn't have a touch pro, but it has a 9-point assisted bed leveling, which would be awesome, but it doesn't seem to do anything. How do you say, store the offset, because if you go up and down with the nozzle, you know, on the screen, but it doesn't seem to store it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there, but it's nice for tinkering and playing around. But it's the most crappy printer you can imagine. The wiring is the worst I've ever seen. You have to Google for TiVo Tarantula version 1, then you know what I mean. It's a nightmare.
Well, I have the ANET, so
that's nothing. That's clean. That's
you think?
Yeah, you should take a look at the TiVo Tarantula. That's really the best
I'll look at it later.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should make a review about it.
You should. You definitely should.
While we are talking about multi-material prints, I remember having this one printed. I think it was just before summer. It was printed on the with the palette too, and that came out really nice.
That's one of my favorite figures.
Yeah, it's a really nice print, and it just nearly no color bleeding at all. There's a tiny bit of black within the white, but yeah, that's really nice print.
Black and white are always the most difficult.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get it dulled and without blinking.
There is a tiny bit of bleeding in there, but you just need to look for it, and otherwise you can see it. And they came out really nice.
It's so cute. It's Tigger. Yeah, I love them. It's the only thing I ever painted. It was one of my first videos. I'm painting a tiger. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is really nice model from, I think it's from Chaos Cortex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never met them. I always thought that I would meet them at. Oh no! What am I saying? What am I saying? I met them at Merv. I met them at Merv. No, was quite. But it took a long time until then I met them.
Is your printer running Marlin, Katja? The dual head machine? It probably is, I think.
Which one?
The what was it called?
The Table Tarantula?
Yes.
That is that has a Marlin based. It's Marlin based, yeah. So it's open source, and you know, if you look at my videos that I recorded upstairs, now I'm downstairs. Maybe you remember there's a blue printer behind me.
Yeah.
And this is a tankable printer, but it has a Cheeto board, which is normally in all these resin printers. Mostly they have Cheeto boards. There it's okay because they have this very nice software. But for 3D printers, it's a nightmare because mine, for instance, doesn't have a bed leveling. So I cannot add anything. You know, the interface, everything is really, really good. But on a 300 by 300 millimeter bed, which is warped, it is a nightmare. And so I think I want to rip out everything and put it in a duet.
Yeah, no, in general, those printers are really bad anyways. They are good for starting a fire, I guess.
No. It has a MOSFET. It has a power off. It has a resume function. So the board is really, really good. You know, it's really like a tank. But if I cannot add anything or update anything,
yeah,
what is it all about then? And it's loud like hell. So I hope that with those TMCs, everything gets a little bit better.
Yeah, I still want to play around with the duet. I just don't have time for it.
You have one?
No.
You have one?
No, that's I just want to get one and just play with it, but yeah, no time.
Okay. Yeah.
And I actually don't have a machine that I really want to change.
Yeah.
I guess I can do it on my CR10.
Yeah. You know, I contacted Chris Riley wrote under his video where he is talking about the duet that I'm ready now because I've been talking about this for over 1 year, I think, and that I would like to start this project now. And if you could help me, please, because he has very nice videos, but I guess if I only watch them, I might not get it.
Yeah.
You can do that. Sure. Sure.
More chance than I'd have.
You know, I had to do a little bit stuff in G code, you know, on my Delta printer. I don't know, is it on I think it's on Marlin, yeah. I had to change some things there, but I'm not good at setting things up from scratch. I have no idea what I'm doing there. So many choices.
We had that on one of the daily questions not long ago. So yeah, if you ever build a printer from scratch, or if you want to, most of them say they had no idea what they were doing just when they started, and they were learning while they were doing it. It's you just have to start. That's the hard part.
That's what I always learned. From just starting, and then if you can't get it out, just start trying and start asking. There are so many people just wanting to help you, and
Exactly.
yeah, especially if you tried something, then everyone basically wants to help you.
Yeah.
So just start. If you want to do it, just do it.
Yeah, because the printer, the base of the whole thing is really extremely good because it's rock solid. I've never seen such a sturdy chassis like this printer has, and it would be a pity if I wouldn't use it. It's extremely nice for printing maps. I've been printing maps in the past on it, and they were all really, really good. But it's getting louder and louder, and then the first layer, it annoys me. And if you ever everybody that has a Prusa, I think then you never want to have anything else anymore when
You get
it comes
spoiled.
to the first. You get really spoiled.
It's true.
I didn't even order the mini, so I'm not that.
So you didn't order the mini.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather order the Maxi if I could, but I already have this Craftbot.
Yeah, well, I don't have the space for it, for one, because I already have 5 printers there and really can't fit more.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money for it.
So one would have to go if I would buy a Prusa XL.
If I buy the XL, probably 2 will need to go.
The XL would be more interesting for me than the Mini. The Mini seems to be a nice workhorse and perfect if you want a little printer to carry around with you. But I think I would go for the XL because I just want a bigger bed.
Yeah, I would just buy it for taking around with me. That's just easy. I now have the G-Tech A180 that I take around with me, and that's an okay machine. But having a Prusa for take around would be so much better.
Yes, I agree. Because with the Prusa, there's basically nothing you have to do. You just put it in a little box.
Yeah.
And you're good.
Yeah, and I love their new electronics as well. That looks really nice.
That's true. The new board in there, it sounds really, really great. I would love to play around with one.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be the one for me because I'm not traveling with my printer.
Yeah.
So
I'm not that
not yet.
often, but I sometimes am. But I would love to have the bigger one. But I think Joseph said it was going to be 1,800 euros or something like that.
Really?
So, I think so, yes.
Maybe he makes a pre-sale a little bit cheaper, maybe, or a kit.
We will see.
I'm sure it will be a kit.
Wasn't it 1,300? Is it 1,800 now?
I don't know. I thought 1,800, but maybe it was. But even 1,300 is still expensive.
Was there even a price? I haven't seen one, or have I overread it because it was too much for me?
I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know where. I don't remember where.
Just for the Wyvern's build, he'll teach you how to make a big printer.
So I will have a carry-on printer in the near future because 2 years ago I funded the MeeGo from MakeX, and I was extremely angry because I thought that was one of more of those projects that will not deliver, companies that will not deliver. But shortly they wrote me that which color I want to have, and and then they're going to ship it now. And I thought, oops, okay, because they had no conversation back and forth. And I once in a while I ask, are you still existing or what's wrong? And then the lady always said, yes, we have a little bit of delay. But it was always me asking her and then her answering me, we have a delay, and then nothing again. And I gave up on it. And now they're gonna send it. And it's a small little printer. I don't know the build size, but not very big, and it has a handle in the middle that you can just carry on.
Awesome. But it's nice to see that there are still some of those backing up projects which which really work, and you will get what you are backed up for. There are so many that are just running dry or something like that.
You know, it's the same company from which I have this M jewelry, you know, the small little
Yes.
printer. And they make really good products, but extremely expensive. And she said now in the end that they had just a big delay because they had made lots of iterations and they were not happy with the quality and they kept on testing and stuff. And I said, okay, if it's that, then it's good for us, you know. And it will even have a small laser add-on.
Oh.
So, yeah, let's see.
I hope you will make a video when it arrives.
Yeah, I will. I will say
Awesome.
that I was extremely angry.
Well, at least they will deliver.
Yeah. So I just realized that I was already friends with Michael Molinari on Twitter, and excuse me that I didn't know because he has a different icon there. Yeah. Oh, and he met Joe Telling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a picture of him on his Twitter account on the right-hand side. You open up. Oh, excuse me.
These days I'll get to meet
It's
more
not
people.
that late yet.
How late is it now, Garth?
7:15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
about
early. Oh my God. So you get up at 6 o'clock just because of us?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe like 3 days ago.
No. You had to
Again,
sleep last night?
without sleep.
No, it was probably, I think it was either Friday. It must have been Friday afternoon, about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I woke up and did my leg, and I haven't slept since.
Because of the pain this time?
Yeah. Because, yeah, it doesn't matter whether I lie down or whether I sit in my chair, sit with my legs splayed out on the couch. It just hurts all the time. So, yeah, I figure I might as well sit up and try and do something. I was trying to, or I was planning to do a Fusion tutorial vid for the Handy Outdoor Nerd and Bill as well. They both kind of requested things, but I started to record one yesterday and realized that by the time I'd be done, I'd have like 100 hours of editing out all the owls and stuff. So I thought, nah, I'll just wait until I'm in a better condition before I do that.
Oh my God.
So I've just been working on my myriad of other models that I've been digging out of the archives.
Which program do you use?
My videos. For videos, I do all my stuff in DaVinci Resolve.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, just upgraded to version 16 when I did my last video.
I have to look that up.
It's like super good. Got pretty much all the functionality of Adobe Premiere, but it doesn't run like a sack of crap, and it doesn't cost anything.
Oh, really? It's for free?
Yep.
Oh,
Sounds awesome.
Blackmagic Design. Wow. I didn't know about that. That's cool.
I render out my videos like 4K, 60 frames per second. Generally, they take an hour or so, which, yeah, it's pretty good.
I hear a lot of good things about it.
It's
I've never
definitely
used it.
worth a look.
I never tried it myself either.
Like, if you've never used like a kind of full video editing suite before, it probably would be a little confusing at first, just because there's so much stuff you can do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I normally use Final Cut Pro or Premiere. I do use both, and I know them both well enough to do something in there.
Well, if you know how to do that, Resolve would be super easy for you. It's almost exactly the same in terms of functionality.
Okay.
Just menus probably laid out a little bit different.
Yeah, and probably shortcuts are different.
Yeah, but yeah, in terms of like what it can do and how quickly it does it, like pretty much everyone I know who's been a Premiere user and then switched to Resolve is just blown away by how quick it works.
Do you also have the keyboard? Do you have the keyboard from them?
I saw it from Press Reset. He posted it, I think.
You don't need the keyboard. I don't know what even the deal is with them trying to push this keyboard thing with the version 16. Like when I first installed version 16, they installed like this driver for the keyboard or something, like kind of said you need it, but you don't need it. Like if you are forced to install it, just uninstall it. You don't need it at all.
Yeah, I'm using Cyberlink, and I'm really happy with it. Power Director. For years now, and you know what you always like to stay with what you know, but I guess because it has also the storyboard and stuff, so by looking at it, I think I could wrap my head around it. I think it would work. I've never heard about it, and I'm wondering why they are giving it away for free.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been doing it for ages. Like there are plugins and features that you can pay for, but I have honestly never wanted to do something in there that I couldn't do. But yeah, I'm absolutely more than happy to recommend it to people because, you know, I'm using it for free. It's great.
Yeah. I'm paying a lot every month for Premiere Pro, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I paid like 35 euros a month for the whole Adobe suite because I need Premiere Pro and Photoshop and Lightroom, so it's basically the cheapest to get like this. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped at Photoshop CS6.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going any further.
Yeah, I can understand why. Yeah, it's part of a small business I run, so it's paid by that. So yeah, I can use it from there, and I don't want to really learn illegal software for that. But yeah, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, if they force my software to stop working at some point, I will absolutely switch to GIMP.
Yeah.
As much as I get annoyed by that program, I would rather that than pay a monthly subscription for something like that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, especially with the amount of issues that are in the software, both in Premiere as in Lightroom. It's crazy. It's
exactly like every time I hear somebody talking about Premiere, it's because they're having problems with it.
Yeah, it's I don't understand how it is. I'm a software developer myself, and I don't understand how those developers can bring out software that is that buggy. It's not something you personally should want as a developer to release that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've had software like that in the past as well, but usually few and far between. But yeah, I've never had any programs crap out on me quite as much as some of the Adobe stuff in the past.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most buggy software I've ever seen. It's
Yeah, I was using Lightroom, and as the same like you, Garth, I stopped with a CS6 because I don't want to rent my software. I want to own it, and then I can. It's my thing if I want to buy another version in 2 or 3 years, but I don't want to be forced to pay. And now I use a DxO because I take pictures in RAW, and and my Samsung is still supported. You know, something is like bent like this. It is distortion, the lens distortion. So it still has these corrections for the Samsung.
It's yeah, that's one of the problems. Even with all the software, you don't really own the software. You just have the license to use it, and if they decide that they want to stop it, they just stop it, and I really don't like that.
No.
Even with the other Lightrooms, I think CS4, Adobe can just say we just stop supporting it.
Yeah.
Just upgrade or something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is why I'm using DxO now more and more, and not using Lightroom anymore, because I'm afraid that one day they will not support it anymore.
They will for sure, because Adobe want everyone to switch over to their cloud version. And I do see the advantages from cloud software in some cases, because you are able to update faster, and you are able to use it on multiple species, so there is an advantage, but there are also so many disadvantages.
Yeah, that's true.
Like needing an active internet connection just to use.
For example,
Yeah.
That's what I hate about those bloody things.
So Mia, you're using also, I think, a version of Power Director, are you, when you're editing your?
Oh dear, I'm using the Microsoft Movie Maker, to be completely honest.
You know, I can give
nothing
you.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's perfectly capable for doing stuff.
Yeah, it works, and as long as you are happy and you are able to do your thing with it, it's perfectly fine. But I started with the Apple version from it. How is it called? iMovie. That was the first things I did a long time ago, and it worked okay, and I was able to get a video out of there, and
yes. That's exactly it. It works. Not perfectly, but it does the job.
Yeah, and if that's the thing, then there's no real need to switch.
I would love to do more things, just like you can't switch can't do much with the text. You are very have only very few options for that.
Yeah.
So this is something I would love to do a little bit better, but I have never worked with any other video software besides the apps on the phone. But
definitely give DaVinci Resolve a try. Like install it. give it a
playing
whirl.
around.
Yeah, play around. It's really not that hard. Like, certainly for doing just your standard cuts and all that kind of stuff, extremely quick. Doing text is quite easy once you know the menu to go to, but then like you can do all kinds of fancy stuff with it, like animate the text and do, you know, fancy transitions and all that kind of stuff as well. But you know,
where you can put the text on a black bar on a certain spot or things like that. This is something you just can't do with the Movie Maker. It's super basic. Well, it works. It works if it doesn't crap itself. It works really good. But
that's the whole point of it, though.
It's pretty basic, so it's easy to start working with it. And I already had it on my computer, so this was the first choice to give it a try. But I think some things are definitely missing. So
yeah, it's really basic software. It's basic video editing, it works. But if you want to do something more, you need to find, yeah, more advanced software.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was designed for your mums and dads who wanted to make their first video.
Yeah, that's
Bit kind of paint by numbers kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. It's pretty easy to get started with it. But pretty limited. It's just like CAD programs. When you start with a SketchUp or something like that. SketchUp is super straightforward, and just like Tinkercad, you can do lots of things with it, but you're pretty limited in other things. Just like Tinkercad, you just can't have a nice circle. You can't have too many things on your platform, or Tinkercad will just shut down and stuff like that. I think that's the same for Movie Maker. You can do basic stuff, and if you want more, you need to switch.
Yeah, I was using HitFilm Express when I did my first video, I think, and it was really quite laggy. It was quite capable, but just so slow to work with. And someone threw up a comment about DaVinci Resolve, and I went and downloaded it. I think I watched 2 like 5-minute videos on it, and that's it. I know how to use it. It's that easy, which is really surprising because considering what you can actually do with it, I expected it to be a whole lot more complex than it actually is.
I for sure will give it a try. If I fail, I can still switch back to Movie Maker.
Exactly. It's not like you have to uninstall Movie Maker to give it a go.
Yes.
And yeah, just go to YouTube and watch like a beginner's video and see if it looks like something you can use.
I will. It sounds interesting.
It's even got preset kind of YouTube export settings and things like that. Just say I want it exported for YouTube at this resolution, and it'll just do it.
And I'm sure there are presets for that already, or built in, or even easily be found.
Nice.
So I'm here in the chat, and there's Logos 3D printing. He just scanned his cat with a 3D Handycam scanner. Cool. I don't know if he constructed it himself. Mia, do you know something more about it?
No, just what's here in the chat.
Okay.
But I can't wait to see the finished print. He's currently printing his cat.
Yeah, I wonder how the cat stood still so long.
I bet there are parts of the hands on the cat on the scan model.
or just parts of food in there.
Yeah.
The Handy Outdoor Nerd was talking about 3D scanners the other day. He'd been experimenting with a couple that run off your phone.
Ah, yeah. Some of them have that. Yeah.
Mine does have that as well, but I just use it in the beginning to try a little bit to work with it, but I failed so terribly and I never came back to it. I just scanned a few objects, and all I got were some super ugly props. Yeah, don't know what I made, what I did wrong. You have to follow some dots with the scanner, so you move up and down, left and right. You have to wait until the dots match each other. I did that lots of times, but still, it just looked like a blob.
Yeah.
I think that would drive me crazy.
I wouldn't trust my phone to do. I doubt my phone would even run an app like that. But
I don't know if my. I think mine should support it, but I never tried it.
No, my phone's pretty old, but I've seen another package where you can take like just heaps of shots with the DSLR, and it kind of
photogrammetry
space or something.
I think it's called photogrammetry or something like that. It works if you you need to make a lot of photos and a lot of overlapping, and I think it works then.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play with that kind of stuff yet, but
I think the phone software was there, but not sure.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them do like a kind of a video point scan, like Mia was saying.
Yeah, but it's still the same. Based on the photo, they figure out distance. It's not really that they can measure distances better it actually is. So it's always software that's guessing it there.
Yeah, there are some things you can preset for before you start scanning. So just like if you're scanning an object that lies on a plate, or if you're scanning an object that is standing up,
Yes.
or which kind of size it is. So you basically give the scanner some information.
Yeah.
Exactly, before you can even start. And that doesn't really work so well. My phone is, I think, one of the first ones that gets such a scanner, and ironically, this was the reason why I wanted it so much. Just used it for some time, but the rest of the phone is the camera is okay on it. It's really good, and I use my phone for all my videos, so it was not a bad decision to get that phone.
Which company is it from?
Sony Xperia, the XZ1.
Ah, okay. Sony is always good, yeah.
Yes, that's one. And it works really fine, so I can't complain.
I had a Sony phone, I think, many years ago. It was like had an LCD display on the front, but you like flipped it up and there was the keypad underneath. And yeah, that was a pretty good phone at the time, but it was probably fanciest phone I had.
Oh, Michael wants to join the stream.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Cool.
We're using Skype, so Paul has to call you.
Cool.
Ouch.
Katja, can you add him to our group?
To our Twitter group or what?
Yeah, that will work as well. Yeah.
Derek. Was it? You said Derek wanted to join
Michael.
us. Michael. Okay,
Yes.
fine. Where is he? Okay. Let's see. To our group.
Any of you guys been working on any projects lately?
Yeah, the last one I was working on, or still working on, is the print in place fan, the Japanese fan. I posted on Twitter lately. I had a few prototypes made. That's one of them. This is with organza fabric. It's too thin, so it doesn't really work for blowing some air into your face. So that's not a proper decision to use this one.
Did you glue it? Did you glue it, Mia, or did you sew it to it, or?
No, it's imprinted.
Printed on it.
Ah, cool.
I just glued the parts here on the parts on the bottom. So basically, well, you can see it better with this one because I haven't glued that. This is the paper version, which really works well. And this one isn't glued at all, so you can put it off like that. You have the parts here, and this one is completely transferred in place.
Ah, okay. So you made this in two pieces that you can print it back.
Exactly. You can print it in one on the build plate in one print. You just have to pause or make a color swap or something like that if you're using Brucia Slicer. So you can basically just put the paper or the fabric on and resume the print, and it will be in there. So I unfortunately can't get any bigger because a build plate isn't bigger.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so there's Michael. He's still wandering around. I guess he's still looking for something. Hi.
I thought it was tripping. I can saw this black dot on Mia's.
Hello.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on there?
There we are. I was just going down to the room at the print farm. So.
Hi.
Trying to figure out how you can fit 5 people at the right.
So how late is it where you're living, Michael?
Yeah, it's only 4:40 in the afternoon here.
Ah, okay, that's okay.
Middle of the day.
Yeah, so here it's 10:40 p.m.
Yeah, so we basically have all around the world now.
Yeah, that's cool. But I thank you for joining. It's always nice if people are so flexible that they just jump in. It's always cool. So it has some dynamic thing, about it.
Well, I'm just happy to hop on and.
Yeah. So I knew that we were friends on Twitter, because of your logo that I just found, when I looked up for your name. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, we're friends, but I didn't know what you really look like, so excuse me.
Yeah, definitely a little bit furrier than that Benchy.
That's always with the logos on Twitter or anywhere else. Most people have different ones everywhere, and it's so confusing. And if someone is switching the picture, I'm always like, oh, who was that again?
You
I have the problem with both you and Mia that they both are red, and then sometimes I think it's from you, it was for me, and other way around. And I'm just not looking.
As well. I've got a few people on my Twitter list who have red and black icons, and whenever I see one flash up in the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh no, it's not either of you. But yeah, it sucks. Like people like Chris Russell, like he changes his icon all the time, and
Twice a day.
Tom Filament Frenzy, like change the icon all the time. You just get used to seeing one and like recognizing that's their tweets, and then they'll go and change it again. It's like, oh god, I'm gonna miss them all again.
No, that's true.
My trouble is I got one for the business and then one for the personal account. So
yeah. It's confusing me at the moment because I'm trying to find the other handle now. But I think I got it now. God.
Yeah.
I think it listed it before.
And I just use a logo because I want to keep my personal and 3D printing related Twitter account separate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've got a personal Facebook, and then I have my 3D printing Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't do much at Facebook, so
I kind of used it because I originally had that set up for my business, but I kind of never had the time to do anything with it, and then I just changed the name of it and started to post prints up there.
I mostly use it to keep contact with a few friends that live in America, and basically that's it.
Yeah. I don't go on them very much these days anymore.
Sometimes if I get a notification, I look around and that's it.
That's pretty much what
Same for me with Facebook. I stopped using Facebook several years ago because it's always the same. Basically, there are just some games which are shared. The same picture or the same texts are always repeating themselves, and in the printing communities, it is so exhausting to find a post that really matters. Most of them are just trolls which are posting something.
I hate that about the Facebook groups.
The only thing I like to use, because I am in some Facebook groups there, on the left-hand side, you can look for data. And if you need, some settings for instance, craftbot settings, I was looking for simplified 3D craftbot settings. So in data on the left-hand side, I just printed in what I'm looking for. And then those posts was about the settings and also the files I could download. Then that was good. But I'm with you, Mia. If you have to read all these columns, kilometer-long columns, that's not very nice.
The comments are just like crazy.
If you want to know something and ask somebody, post even a picture and all the information is in there, you have at least 20 people which are posting exactly what you write inside of your post, what is definitely not.
That does make sense. and sometimes people are very unpolite. In this main 3D printing group, I don't like to be in there, but I'm administrator of the DAS 3D printing group, and there it's okay. I even have the power can join or not, so it's a little bit cool.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Facebook page for my printer, and that one's really good because that's only customers post in there.
Yeah, the printer specific pages are normally pretty good because everybody's just actually trying to fix their own things.
Yeah, it's the general one that's the main problem, I think.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I have to be in there because of work. The course participants, they always want my email address, and I don't really want to give it. So I just show them my Facebook account, and then maybe after 1 year, if I don't remember that face or name, I can throw them out again.
Yeah.
And it reminds me always about the birthdays. That's a nice thing.
Yeah, but even there, I don't really care about it. But that also is because I don't really care about my own birthday. So.
Oh, okay. And Michael, you have your own. Do you have your own Facebook group there because of your printer?
Yeah, we have one that's set up. I think it's linked to off of the main website there, the AutoDrop website.
Mm-hmm. I will take a look.
We have a page and I think a group, but there's not really much activity in it right now. We're kind of early,
Oh. Okay. So it's still in the development phase.
Well, we have machines that we're ready to sell, so if anybody orders them online, we're ready to ship them.
So you can automatically print benchies and throw them off the build plate.
They don't fly like that in the picture anymore. It's much more gradual and much more nice and friendly.
Okay.
But yeah, the machine automatically removes the part at the end of every print and then keeps on going all by itself. And we got like this whole web-based queue, makes it easy.
Okay. So does it have like a conveyor belt underneath? Is that what it's all about?
The best way. You know what? I'll bring the camera over to one of the printers and start it.
Oh, perfect.
That's cool.
Sounds a bit like something I saw. Might have been either the Form Factory or like Form Labs or Prusa or something, where they basically had these machines they'd print and then they tilt the print into a bucket, put the thing down, and start printing again.
Let me just do this and approve a print. Hold on. So theoretically, if I did it right. Okay. Can you see the thing here? So the printer is sliding the build plate forward. And if I had something on the bed like that, basically what it's going to do is it's going to get pushed up over a blade, and it's deposited in kind of like this little runway area, and then it prints out the next object after returning the bed to its original position, and it just keeps on going all by itself. And it's all set up. Yeah, it's set up so that you can do it in like multi-user environments. So like schools and maker spaces, you can just submit your jobs or your large batches, and you come back to a pile of parts.
So basically, you can pile them up in a queue. So if you have for a school or something, so basically every student can type in its own print, and they will print one after another, and so they will all end up in the bucket you put down on the printer. Is it like that?
Yeah, and it's a little bit more sophisticated in that you don't send your print to a printer, you send your print to a location, and then it routes to the printer based on the size and the material that's available.
Nice. That's awesome.
So you can basically create a farm
entire
around it.
farm.
That's exactly it. And we got we got the option for doing credit card charging, the option for doing moderation, that kind of stuff.
Prusa should
Nice.
should be interested in having it for his farm.
I think he's got his own homegrown stuff that they're actually starting to sell that, I think.
Well, this more sounds like for maker spaces and schools and things like that, where you pay for actual prints, and there it would be really nice.
I would have needed it for my mosaic project, that I did with the pixels, because I was sitting there and these pixels, they were sticking to the bed that much, even though I later on had pixels that didn't have an elephant foot anymore, but these little pegs, it drove me crazy, and I think I have now hornhaut. I don't know, this leathery skin on my fingertips, because I collected all these pegs. It would have been cool, I don't know if you know what it is, Michael. It's a board, because you don't have that in America. It's a board, and I made little pics. I call them pixels, like a cell. And these things, they are very small. But they stick to the Prusa bed so much, to the PI sheet. And I had an army of these things always on the build plate, like hundreds. And then, once it was finished, it didn't pop off. You could bend the build plate like you wanted. They didn't pop off at all. And I always had to collect every one of them.
Yeah, they're way too small.
Yeah, and this blade thing there, it would be good. That would be good.
The software that we're doing, it works with regular 3D printers too. So if you have like a half a dozen printers lying around, it'll start them all automatically, and then just wait for you to press a button that says you've cleared the bed, and then it'll keep on going and picking up more stuff.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
Awesome.
I will already opened it up. It's so cool. So there's one picture with the owner of CME CNC here. I see.
Steve is great. I got this puppy here in the other room. That's the big boy.
I visited their factory. It was very interesting. He made a tour of the plant, and he described how he started, how the company grew, and about the history of the Delta printers. It's very interesting. I already have 2 Deltas. Otherwise, I would buy one of those. But I cannot afford a 3rd Delta printer anymore. It's nuts.
I went through like 9 different Deltas before getting that CME CNC one.
Wow.
And once we got that CME CNC one, it was a game over. Not buying any of these little tiny cheapo Chinese ones, except for like maybe the little MP minis. But all the Castles and all that. You got to get one of these Euro stocks. You got to get one of these Euro stocks.
I never had worked with the Delta before, so if I ever consider to get one, that's good to know.
It's a Delta's, having printing on a Delta is really addictional. It's magical to see them dancing. They print so fast. It's incredible.
It's nice to see them.
It's nice to see them, but I never had the opportunity to work with one.
If you're looking for a really cheap one, they have the MP Mini Delta. That's the monoprice Mini Delta, and you can find them refurbished from monoprice on their website every now and then for less than $100 a piece.
Wow.
In the U.S., that's shipped. I don't know how much it would cost in other places.
Yeah.
Probably the same.
Probably the same. Double.
Yeah, probably triple for me.
Yes.
But they come fully assembled. They have a little handle on them. They're nice little machines.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
look into that.
Mostly they are. You will find them. You will find them on every show. You know, Earth or Murph or around everywhere.
Yeah, but that's all those more bigger printers. You find them everywhere. It's
the big problem with Deltas is they're so tall.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Enterprise even has a German website, which I didn't know. It's interesting. And the cheapest one there is 135.
So that's not that bad actually.
Is that the MP Mini Delta?
The Mini Delta, yeah. And it says open boxes. It's a they had it returned and the box had been opened.
I had actually ordered 30 of them open box from Monoprice, and I think I had one of them that was basically bum out of the box. The rest of them were fine, and they all came with a print on the bed, so they tested them.
Okay.
Nice.
Pretty good run.
Yeah. So which other printers do you have, Michael? Excuse me. I started yawning. I infected them. Excuse me, Michael. So go on.
I have like 8 of these little tiny ones. I have the big one in the other room. I got some that are over at the local makerspace to me. And then I have this is part of the graveyard of 3D printers.
Okay. I have one like the orange one, which I built all by myself, from a kit from China.
I have I got a few of them type of castle.
Yeah, exactly that one. I think I have with manual, with semi-manual bed leveling, where you have to hack in the code.
But sometimes those printers are really nice for the parts.
Yeah.
So when we were experimenting with the automatic ejection system, the earlier versions, we were building them all from castle kits, and I got really good at assembling them castle kits. I could build one in about 2.5 hours.
Wow! How many of them did you assemble?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, there's like 7 or 8 of them, I think.
I'm so slow in assembling. But I always check everything twice or triple just to make sure that I didn't forget something.
You were at least much quicker than I was assembling the Prusa. I don't know why I took so long and why you took so little. Why you didn't. Why you only had like 8 hours or something, and
I think about 8 hours. I took, but over 2 days. So basically 4 hours one day and 4 hours the other day.
So I think I've had 12 hours, 11 or 12 hours.
But you had exactly. You were in the live stream, so essentially in a live stream you can compare it to assemble it just all by yourself.
That takes like 2 times longer in a live stream.
Exactly.
So then I'm not that bad. So then I'm not that bad.
No, you're not.
No.
Not at all.
It depends on your instructions, right? So like those Chinese castles, when they were a couple of years ago, when they were pumping those things out, the instructions were terrible. I think the best instructions I've ever seen come with a 3D printer came with a Tronxy X1 or Tron XY X1, and that one was a super easy assembly because there was just so few parts.
That's like 4 screws, right?
There's a little bit more than that, but it's a cantilevered design.
I have one somewhere around here. I took all parts of it.
They're not a little bad machine to strip down and use for some other project.
I got one for like €100 and I needed new motors for another printer. So instead of buying motors, I got that printer.
Well, it comes with a control board and everything. Why not?
Yeah.
I think they're less than.
And I don't understand how they are able to make it that cheap, because the parts are pretty okay in general. It's just the total package isn't that great.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad printer. It's not a good printer though.
Okay-ish.
But for that, they can't make it for that price. For
$100, you know.
What do you expect?
The best printer there is. The best printer there is. It's.
So which city do you live? Micah?
I'm in Connecticut, in a small kind of a city. Basically close to the. They have 2 casinos around here, so we have like Foxwoods and the Mohegan Sun, which are these Indian casinos.
Okay. I've never been in an Indian casino, but I remember when I was in Florida, there were also 1 or 2 of them. Seems to be very popular that the Indians they're in charge of them. They own them. I think they own them.
I think Michael froze.
Yes, like it.
Yeah.
You fell out. I'm getting tired. What about you guys?
Oh, I have no problem at all with being tired.
You're always tired.
The worst thing is I need to be at the office at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, dear.
Why don't you say something?
I don't need sleep. It's.
Garth, he kippt, sage ich jetzt auch noch, mein Gott. He silently vanished also. Why do I have such a funny skin tone? I look like from a different planet. Das habe ich mir wundert, warum ich immer so braun bin. Ich gehe ja gar nicht in die Sonne raus. So that was German, Michael. I was just wondering about my skin tone because I have such a funny skin tone compared to you other guys, you know. If you look at me, I could be from a different planet. I don't know.
Well, I'm always pale.
No, you have a normal skin tone.
Well, that's maybe the light, but I'm. Everybody says I'm pale. Weiß wie die Wand.
No, that's not true. No, I see the Wand behind you, and it's not as pale as you.
It's pretty close.
No, it's the other way around. It's paler than you. Oh. I made a mistake. I wanted to say shit. So, Michael, another word in German. Shit is Scheiße. Entschuldigung.
Oh, we're learning how to.
We can also go to Dutch, right?
Verdammter Scheißdreck.
Verdammter Scheißdreck. Damn, shit is in English.
Exactly.
Oh my.
So what are you printing recently, Michael? Let's talk about good stuff again.
Well, I've been printing out enclosures and stuff for parts on these 3D printers. So we have these. We have these electronics enclosures on each of the printers, and then these clips that hold it all together. There's some clips inside the machines that we've been printing. Somebody's been printing out these little, I don't know what they are. They're
Cthulhu's. I'd say.
Yeah, it's
angels.
An angel that is doing like I did before. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, angels.
For the Christmas tree, maybe?
I think it's a Cthulhu or something.
Yes.
I've never heard about
that's
that.
how you say it. Cthulhu. We say Cthulhu in Germany. So, yeah, I always call it Stulu because I'm so bad at spelling at that.
My kitty cat doesn't make meow, but he looks at me like
he's hungry. I want something to eat.
I'll be back in a moment.
My fish is just time to end the stream.
You have to get up very early.
That does well, but I think everyone is tired as well.
Yes. Well, except for you, Michael, maybe you, for you, it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I am all good, but if you guys are going to be ending the stream, that's all good.
Well, the problem is that I am leaving. We are sort of required to end the stream anyway.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
It's not like with Gypsy.
Yeah, that's the only disadvantage of this setup. That I need to be here.
You have to stay until the very end.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you. Then it was my doctor or the office. Unfortunately, my doctor's called in sick, so.
Oh dear.
Doctors can't get sick.
They have all the medication they need.
So I've got to go and see different.
Yes, see one. That's not good. If it's worse than the shoulder, that can't be good.
Well, this doctor's seen me before as well.
So he knows you at least.
Sorry.
So he knows you. So, the other one.
Oh yeah. She's seen me a couple of times before because a few months ago, my regular doctor went away for like a conference for 3 weeks or something. Here, then, and actually had to see her a few weeks ago as well for something else because my regular doctor's appointments didn't coincide with when I was available. So at least they do know me there, and they kind of don't have any issues with prescribing me what I need and stuff because it's all practice.
That they know you is important and they can at least help you for now.
Yes, when they know all your medical history, so.
Yeah, all the computers are linked. I don't have to see the doctor that I started seeing when I first went there because, like, he's a great doctor, like superbly thorough, knows his stuff, but like he runs an hour and a half late all the time. He just takes forever.
For sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's really bad. Yeah. At least you get help, and he takes attention for you. But you don't want to wait 1.5 hours.
Yeah, and unless you get the first appointment of the day,
but
you say goodbye to the rest of your day.
Here we don't have any big waiting time, so I'm kind of spoiled.
Yeah, well, I've been pretty lucky with both of the doctors that have seen me recently. Since I've started seeing them, they like the longest I've waited, I think, is 5 minutes.
So do you have was heißt denn Versicherung?
Insurance.
Do you have a health insurance, Michael? Excuse me, I'm tired.
Yeah. I mean, in the U.S. here, you have to have health insurance or whatever.
Oh, you have to have. Oh, okay. I thought that it was there was a time when they didn't even care.
There was a time like that, and then they passed Obamacare, which required everybody to get insurance. So it's kind of quasi-privatized. You know, it's basically kind of a scam the way they set it up.
Sounds awfully familiar.
I think Michael froze again.
Really?
In that case, I think it's time to end the stream.
Just like this. Yeah, because I if I would live in the U.S. with my disease, or you other guys, I think the health insurance would learn about it. They could just neglect us, and then we would have a bad time, complicated time to get a health insurance.
Yes.
They can't deny you necessarily based on pre-existing condition. And if you're employed by a business, part of the insurance is coming from the business, so there's no way for them to get out of that.
That's just like here in Germany. So basically, you have to have health insurance, but you have to be not self-employed. So if you are employed at a company or something like that, you have to give part of your money you would earn to the health insurance. But if you are self-employed, you have to pay that all by yourself, but you have to be in an insurance. So basically everyone has to be in one. The thing is, if you have to pay it all for yourself, or if you have hard paying because you're employed. So there are two different kinds of insurance. The one is the private one, which you have to pay yourself. The other one is the gesetzliche. I'm missing the words too.
Employer sponsored or something like that?
Yes,
from the state, from the state.
It's
the basic
one that you just have to. And so you have some doctors here which are only taking private patients because they will get more money if they do so. And if you are not in a private insurance, those doctors won't even see you.
We have sort of the same system here in the Netherlands. You need to pay a specific amount, I think on average it's 140, 150 euros every month. And then, based on what kind of insurance you choose. You can go to every hospital or just a few, and you get paid. Yeah, basically everything, every medicine and things like that.
Here we have to pay for the medicine as well, but only for parts of it. So basically, you have a maximum of €5. You have to pay for medication. If it costs less, you have to pay full. If it costs more, you don't have to pay more than these €5.
Yeah, we have here. It's called own risk. So you need, it's €400, I think. So the first €400 of healthcare you get. So if it's medicines or a doctor's visit, you need to pay basically, and after that everything is just paid.
We have something similar to the German healthcare here in Liechtenstein. But I guess it's a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit cheaper than in Germany. I guess what I have to pay by myself. I'm already living here so long that I don't remember what it would be there now if I would live in Germany. But I guess it was there more expensive.
Here it depends on which company you choose. You can choose your insurance company you want to go to, and some are cheaper, some are more expensive, and each of them has different things they are paying for you. So some are giving you some money back if you do your annual checks. Others, you have to pay in advance for some things, and if you're giving in the check, they will pay you the money back, or at least a part of that.
Yeah, we have the same sort of system.
Yeah.
That's... Okay. I'm going to clean up here and grab some sleep.
Yeah. You have to get up early.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks
Yes.
all.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Stepping by. That's very nice to have you.
Hopefully see you next time.
Yeah, hope you join in next
Every time you like.
again. And
It's okay.
now you're in the chat and we can communicate, okay?
Yeah.
So
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Like always. Bye.